Alright, Reggilar show. Today, we're kind of going to be talking about... This is going to be kind of similar to the future Pokemon episode we did. Just talking kind of about Mario, obviously. The stagnation.
Yeah.
And by that, what we mean by that is, I feel like there hasn't been a really satisfying, fresh Mario experience in quite some time at this point.
And the ones that are very few and far between.
Well, I mean, I don't even know if there's one that I've played in recent memory that I've been like,
well,
I really like that.
Well, to be fair, we haven't gotten to Galaxy yet.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying like since Galaxy.
Oh, no.
Because that's the last one I've heard that was, or Galaxy 2.
If you think about it, there's been a ton since Galaxy. It doesn't seem like it, but like all of the new
I think there's been like 7 games since then.
Well, the new Super Mario Brothers, Wii U.
Luigi U.
Yeah, Luigi, if you count that as a separate game, I guess you can. They released it as a disc. Basically all of the new series except for the first one.
And then there's also 3D Land as well.
Yeah, that's right, 3D
and
Land.
3D World now.
Although, I mean, definitely after Galaxy 1. I think Galaxy 2 came in somewhere in between some of those.
Right, yeah.
But the main point being is that...
It's been like 5-ish years, though.
Yeah. Because there's 2 different Marios. There's the 2D platforming, there's the 3D exploring.
Right.
And we've been established that these are the 2 different ones. Super Mario World was the last 2D platformer until they went to the 3D World-esque areas, because that's when they had Super Mario 64, Sunshine, and then Galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
And now they've kind of gone back and like, we forgot about the platforming stuff, and that's where the new series came from.
Yeah.
So, what it is because they're going backwards, they're trying to pull in the old and trying to sell it as new and fresh, but they're not doing enough with it.
Yeah.
People know Mario games. Now, it's not like that we don't miss the good old platforming, but you gotta tune it up a bit. You gotta tighten up the edges. You gotta make sure that it's in working condition to really get people back into the older Mario games.
I mean, they've well tuned it, but like...
Oh, I mean, it's perfectly tuned, if you will. I just think that Nintendo needs to realize that they're running a gaming company, not a museum.
Well,
this is not like, you can't just keep putting out, here's a Mario game. Like, they seem afraid to do anything with him, except for a kind of a basic, simple platformers.
Well, yeah. I mean, the thing about it back in the day, you had Dr. Mario.
And I mean, I'm not even talking about spin-offs.
Yes.
I'm not even including spin-offs with the character, because even those I think have become fairly stagnant within the last while. I mean, we could probably do an entire
Mario
video
parties.
about Mario parties have always
Mario
been
parties.
horrible. But we'd probably do an entire video about Mario Kart.
Yeah,
I think that's become quite stagnant recently as well.
It's the same old power-ups.
It's the same, yeah.
Same characters.
And the it feels... It feels slow to me now. Mario Kart does, and it's the same thing when we were playing. What I was just saying, is that it's a very 3D World to me is a very leisurely experience. It's very smushy. It's sort of just hop onto the next thing, hop onto the next. It's not that kind of
Mario game,
right? It's not a sweaty palms kind of like trying to hit the thing. It's just sort of
not challenging enough. Sort of.
Yeah,
I mean, it's got challenge in it by all means. It's just it doesn't have that Mario X factor in it.
Yeah, I would definitely say, go play 3D World.
Right.
And then go play one of those jetpackless Sunshine levels or whatever and compare them. I mean, there's just no... You can see what I'm talking about. I don't really know what to say, and maybe it is some kind of X factor, but it's just not... There's not the inventiveness there.
No, and I feel like they've sort of lost their way on Mario over the years. I mean, you, Sean, and I have all grown up with these games.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we've grown up with Mario, we've grown up with Zelda, We've grown up with all these games, and it just they seem like they want to step out of their boundaries with some games, and other games they're not comfortable with changing anything.
Yeah, Mario to me has kind of become a guy where we make these games and they look at the game and they go, this must appeal to as many people as possible.
Yeah.
This is Mario.
And maybe that's what he is. Maybe that's what he's become because they need something like that.
Well,
I mean, everybody loved him before, though.
Yeah, Mario's been the poster boy for Nintendo for 20 years, 25 years?
Yeah, I mean, as long as not as long as the company's existed, but basically as long as they've been making video games.
I mean, yeah. When Mario came out, everybody knew what it was.
I mean, it's not like he was some unknown... It's not like nobody played Brothers 3 or Land or whatever, and then once they started making these kind of... this weak sauce stuff that they've been doing recently, and then everybody's like, oh, he's so popular, now he's an icon or something. And
no.
He became an icon because of those earlier games.
Yeah, for good reason. They're good.
Yeah, they are really good. And it seems to be, when you're playing it, you're sort of like everybody, because to me, Mario already embodies that.
Yeah.
He already embodies that. Anybody can play Mario.
Yes.
You walk to the right, you jump. It's not hard.
No.
Yeah.
But hardcore people like it too because it's challenging.
Yeah.
So, it does already appeal to a lot of different people.
It's just that I don't think they see that factor. Or they feel like it doesn't appeal to
I think
enough.
They feel like, a lot of people just give up on Mario, even though they like the game, because they just can't do it.
Well, it's not that I give up on Mario. I have no interest in 3D Land. I like 3D World.
Yeah.
I didn't play 3D Land, so yeah, I give up on that too. I don't really play those games because... I mean, I full damn well know that when I buy those games and I put it into my Wii or Wii U or whatever it is, my Nintendo playing device, I'm not going to get that experience of Mario that I am looking for, that I know that I want.
Because we were talking about how Mario's kind of set in his ways, and
Definitely think that's true.
You could say that Mario is, or a lot of these new games are throwbacks, but in a way they're not because. That challenge isn't there.
Well, how do you throw back a game that's been doing the same thing for over and over?
Returns is a throwback, and Returns feels fresh because it's like they don't seem to make games like Returns or Donkey Kong Country Returns, but Mario is like a throwback, but it's whitewashed in a way. It's not. It's like a throwback, but then we dumb down the throwback.
You might say, Returns is kind of a misnomer for Donkey Kong Country, because it's more like Donkey Kong Country, what's the term you were just using? Sorry.
What?
Throwback. Like Donkey Kong Country Throwback, and then these are more like Returns, because these are like, oh, Mario's back, and he's doing something
Mario's back, and
similar to what he was.
He's much easier than he was before.
Mario's never left.
Yeah.
Mario's always been there. It's just that Mario's changed over the years. He's sort of walked down on his old household of hardcore gamers, and he's moving in with his new side family of the casual guys.
The casuals. I mean, but and I don't like it when everybody just goes the casuals. They ruined everything.
No.
Well, I mean, I kind of feel, and this is my personal opinion, that this game isn't foregoing the hardcores, because there's still challenges and still things like that.
Yeah,
I bought the game personally. I'm going to play through it.
Yeah.
My personal problem with the way Mario's been going, and it does have a lot to do with the stagnation, is that they're so short. Can I please get a Mario game because these are fine and enjoyable. They're fine. That's the best way to put it. They're fine experiences, but I wish I had more time, because I played New Super Mario Brothers 1 and 2 on the DS and 3DS. About 5 hours done. Super Mario 3D Land, about 5 hours done. This one, we played 3 hours. We're about halfway through, so I'm going to say maybe 6 hours.
And this is a freaking console game.
Yeah.
$60.
You can go back. Yeah, $60, and I'm only getting 6 hours. I mean, you can go back and get all the extras and stuff.
And that's $10 for a world.
So think about the 3D exploration games. All of them were much longer than this. The Galaxy ones were longer.
Yeah, 64 was probably longer than this.
At least 15 to 20 hours, especially on a first playthrough. I mean, you can do them fast once you know everything.
Oh yeah.
We didn't know anything about it, and we were already
Yeah, we're just blazing through them.
But
half of that was on co-op, which was torturous to get through.
Yeah, we finally decided to stop and play through single player. Thank God.
Well, we wanted to get the different experience as well.
I mean, that too. We also rented up to 2 players. We also rented up to 3 players, but I'm pretty sure we all agreed that the more players, the worse the gameplay.
Maybe that's just us being being old.
Maybe
old
we don't know how.
That don't have friends or whatever.
Well, maybe that's the thing. Maybe the newer generation of gamers knows how to play this game and we don't.
I don't know.
And if that's the case, then buy this game and have fun with it. But I'm not.
Maybe we're getting old.
Maybe we are getting old.
Well, your beard's kind of getting longer.
I think, I would like to see, and I don't think it's going to happen because we talked about what we'd like to see in Pokemon. And to me, Pokemon feels like something that could, at some point, improve. But to me, I don't know if they're ever going to do anything interesting with Mario again. I think that's kind of a bummer for me, at least.
Because, I mean, let's think if they did another 3D adventure, would it be interesting enough? Because, I mean, unless they did something like... Because they'd have to do something new, like Sunshine, where they introduce a new ability, essentially.
Right.
It was ability and a restriction at the same time.
Well, I also like that the Sunshine almost led you away into thinking it wasn't Bowser. Yeah. And I think it was this new, like, even Mario.
Yeah, I mean, we are about out of time here, but, I think that, a lot of the Zelda games are very similar, but, I mean, at least there's a gimmick there. There's a new art style. There's nothing. It's the same shit, and
There's a cat suit.
There's maybe a cat suit in it now.
That I don't want to put
I would really like to see them get away from that and really do something interesting with the character and the games or whatever, but probably not going to happen.
I think they need to take some cues from the Costume College, so... Alright.
Thank you.
Woo!